Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Monday, January 6th. Today I am joined by Matt at schools_01, Boomy at Boomy TCF, and Pigoy at TCF. Pigoy, he is here. He has, if you guys see this stuff behind him, he did not realize till the other day that he even had a background. So I had to show him this, and now he is doing that shit behind there, and it's just gross to
I'm the
look at.
happiest man in the show here, boys.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not going to lie. That's a pretty cool crew neck, but that's the only compliment I'm giving you the rest of the show.
Zach, tonight when we were recording the podcast, you complimented my Packers hat and Pigoy's crew neck, Vikings crew neck. What's going on, man? You're getting soft on me.
No, remember what I said? I said I'm giving you guys one compliment. This is your one compliment.
It's your New Year's resolution.
And what I said about your hat was,
what
I said about his hat was, I said it was white, so I didn't have to look at the shitty green and yellow color that you usually have to look at, and that's why I thought it was a decent hat. It wasn't because anything other than it didn't have that nasty ass color on there. But I am at Zach Z Lilia LILJA TCF on Twitter. The main page is at typical_Chicago. Go to Instagram, go to Facebook, type in Typical Chicago Fans. You'll find us on there. Follow us on there. What else we got here? We got to go to Apple, Spotify, Spreaker. Check us out on there. We put this out on audio form too. We also have our Typical Chicago Fan podcast, which will be out sometime tomorrow. Go check that out. Go to the YouTube page, subscribe. Go under our videos, like them, comment on them. Let us know what you guys think of them. Like I said, we put this out on there, the TCF Morning Show, and Typical Chicago Fans, the podcast. I think that's about it. Oh, thank you to our sponsor, The Muddy Otter. Go to themuddyotter.com. Check out their pottery, stuff like this beautiful mug right here with the TCF logo on it, The Muddy Otter, right there at the bottom. I've seen they're back in business. They're back in the lab working on their pottery and woodworking. So if you want to go on there, get some orders out for them. If you got a customized order or something like that, let them know. Hand image print is themuddyotter.com, or go to Instagram or Facebook. Check them out on there. Also, Score Trader. I don't know how well we did this week in the playoffs. Pigoy is in charge of that for us.
It's looking pretty good.
We won $50, deposited $0. So go on to the App Store, go to Score Trader, download that app. It's only on the App Store, the Apple Store as of right now. So go out, check it out on there. Download it. They got the NFL playoffs. We only got a few weeks left of the NFL playoffs, so go make sure you get on there. This little ad right here is by our guy P. Goy to tell you about how you can win some money just like we did.
Score Trader Week 17 update. TCF Chicago gets third place overall in the Week 17 contest. We had Joe Mixon as our top running back, bought a bunch of shares in him. He ended up being the top running back for the entire week on the Score Trader leaderboard. We also had Brashad Perryman from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the third best wide receiver for the week in the contest. Score Trader top leaderboard gets us third place for $50 cash prize to us. Guys, listen, Score Trader, go check it out. It is a free-to-play fantasy sports app where you buy stock in players during the week and then decide if you want to sell them off or let it ride during the contest on Sunday or Saturday. Now for the playoff, Score Trader running some NFL playoff contests, so go ahead and check that out as well. Again, free to play, cash prizes at your disposal. Go ahead and draft your players, buy stock in your players, and see how you do. That is at Score Trader app and at typical_Chicago on Twitter. Be sure to tweet us photos of your portfolio, and as well, look for us on the top trader leaderboard.
Beautiful, beautiful ad read by Pigoy. Say go to Score Trader on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or go onto the Apple Store, download the app, and get involved in this week's NFL playoffs and win yourself some money free of charge. But boys, we got to get into it. We were kind of watching this while we were recording our podcast, but we got the final Blackhawks Red Wings. Blackhawks win 3-2 in a nice little. It's a nice little win for the Blackhawks. They have 44 points now. They're about 5 or 6 points out of this little last wild card spot, and that just means they will hopefully stay in the hunt all year. Any thoughts on what the Bulls, the Blackhawks can do? Maybe they can make a little playoff run.
Well, the final was 4-2, not 3-2.
4-2, sorry.
Yeah, kind of similar.
Empty netter, my bad.
Yeah, we need to keep they need to go. We keep making the same conversation. They're still only 5 points out of the 8th spot, but you got to go at some point. At some point, you got to realize that you're still 5 points out. And yeah, these are the wins you gotta get. Detroit is absolutely terrible.
They have 10 wins all year.
Yeah, they are bad.
Booby, can you kind of elaborate on what you said on the show about how the record kind of makes you look at it a little differently? Because I honestly, of all the dumb things you said, I think this is actually something smart. Okay,
and I can't remember who tweeted this out.
That was a good one.
I think it's Len Casper. And trust me. But anyway, so the NHL record, the way they do it is so deceiving. I feel like that it should be changed. I know that that hockey goes on points and you get a point for going to overtime but still losing. And I don't know. It just feels like when you add that third category that it is very, very deceiving on how bad your teams actually are, and also how bad the bottom portion of your league actually is, because the Blackhawks now sit at 19, 18, and 6. So you're 19 and 18. That's what we're so used to. Oh, it's not that bad. We're 19 and 18. Yeah, we forget the third category is overtime losses. But if you were to say my team is 19 and 24, to me, that puts you in a different mental space. I don't know. This might just be my dumb brain and the way I perceive things, but I don't know. I think they need to just add those into the loss column, and but still obviously adding them to the points thing. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm just happy. Like I said, maybe we can get a little bit of a run here. And I also said, you said with that, what you said with I did not really realize that. I kind of, sometimes when people explain it to me randomly, I'll remember that that's actually a loss, but you get 1 point for it. So I think they should just kind of maybe throw that in there. And I don't know. Like I said, we don't talk. That's talking hockey. Matt, you got anything on the Blackhawks?
I just want meaningful or entertaining hockey at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just because it's not going to be a good winter for sports for me personally. It's not looking like, especially after Carolina just got dragged by Georgia Tech. So
yeah, they did. They're 30-8.
Anyway, so we'll just hope the Blackhawks can give me someone entertained and bring some good games. So I actually make the playoffs. I do think they can at least. Mega push. There's no reason they can't. So
I was kind of saying,
nice to see tonight. Sakura scored his first goal of his career tonight. Baca scored tonight. So young guys are stepping up. So that's cool to see.
Like I was saying with the Blackhawks, it's their last month or so, kind of is what they are. They'll either go up a lot and then the other team will come back, or they'll be down a lot and then they'll tie it up and go to overtime, then lose, or something dumb will happen or something like that. It just seems like there's no consistency at all with this team, and you can't figure out what's going on at any point.
Right. Yeah, it's the inconsistency is the frustrating part.
Well, it's boys, they were minus 200 on the money line tonight. You gotta win. You gotta win that game at least.
Yeah, and then you get down 2-0, and then you're like, "What the hell's going on?" And like you said, look, I think did Secura end up getting 2 goals? Because I know he had one, but I don't know if he.
Oh, he only had the one. Yeah, he just had the one. Strom scored 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Strom was the one that scored.
And Boquist scored 2. So. Yeah, like I said, those are guys that are going to be around the franchise going forward 3, 4, or 5 years, those are going to be the guys that are, along with Kirby Doc, are probably going to be the ones, carrying that franchise. So
I think they go home.
good to see some production from them tonight.
They're back home on Tuesday against the Flames. That's just a nice little game that you would like to win, just to keep the momentum going and just to kind of prove that you were gonna make a little bit of a playoff run here. Because like I said, you were at home last night. You'll be in Chicago for 4 or 5 days. It'd be nice to cap off another win against the Flames. The Flames are in the West, right?
Correct.
Correct. So
Yes.
I said it'd be a nice
Yes.
little division win, conference win.
And they're
So
just
damn
barely
close,
ahead of
it's
the
so
Blackhawks.
frustrating,
Yes.
too.
They're 21, 17, and 5, and the Blackhawks are 19, 18, and 6. No, 19, 18. They are a game technically above 500 in a way. But
No, they're not.
I know,
They're
I
19
know.
and 24.
now you, Boomy, you ruined like looking at the thing now for me. I always thought, oh, we're above 500. Woo!
He
Right.
simplified it. He just simplified
No,
it.
he made me.
I mean-
He made me think about it more.
Well,
That's-
don't
I'm gonna hurt
don't
my
think
brain.
about don't
Don't
think
hurt
too hard.
yourself.
It'll get you in trouble.
Hurt my brain.
In trouble.
Our next thing, NFL wildcard weekend recap. Unfortunately, boys, we only have a few more weeks left of football. We do have the XFL, like we were talking about, but we'll see how that goes. But
I just can't get up for that.
we can't. But we started off the weekend with a little bit of Buffalo, Houston. Buffalo blowing a 16-0 lead. They were up 13-0 at half, go up 16-0, and then lose 22-19 in overtime. Boys, what did you guys think? Gambling? What did you guys do? Gambling on it? Thoughts.
I'm so dumb. We did all of our predictions, on the show last week. And bet my predictions. I would have went 3-1. Instead, I only hammered the one, and that was the one I lost.
I think that's just.
But the
I think
Bills
that's.
are exactly who I thought they were.
That's just kind of funny to sit back and think of. Like, what if you would have gambled on the other three? They probably would have lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about it.
The Bills are exactly who I said that they were. I felt that their inexperience and their ability to play with a lead just wasn't there. Everybody just kisses the Bills' ass, and if you go back and look at it, their schedule was not great. And I don't know, their inexperience to me really jumped out, and I think Houston being at home, that really paid off for them. And obviously, I think Deshaun Watson is just a dog. So, yeah,
The Bills
I don't
did
know.
play a notoriously soft schedule this year. Like if you look at it, like the wins they had against the teams they beat were just atrocious.
Yes.
So they got a lot
I
of
wanna add-
cupcake wins, but
Oh, sorry.
go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
No, go. Keep going.
No, like the wins they had were just so bad, but they balled out in that first half. Like they bullied the Texans in that first half, and Deshaun Watson looked like shit. And of course, everybody was starting to do like the Deshaun Watson, Trubisky ball as stuff like that. But like Josh Allen looked pretty good, but then like they just got so conservative in the second half, and they just kind of they played not to lose.
Yeah, they
and
played themselves out of the game by trying to
Right.
run the clock out and just they wanted that game to be over as quick as possible, and they needed to realize that they needed to put the game away more than they needed to try and run the clock out. They needed to
scoring
keep it
points to
going,
win
yeah.
the game.
Even if my thing would be, why would you want to do that? You still got another game to play next week. You want the momentum to keep going. Why would you try to break momentum?
Exactly.
It's just like I said.
This isn't week 4.
They seem like they were just out there for. Hopefully, they almost thought they should just knelt the ball every single time. Like that's almost what they were doing.
Played not to lose instead of playing to win, and it came back to bite
And I
them
also
in the
think that
ass.
both coaches tried to lose the game. I still don't think Bill O'Brien's a good coach.
God,
either.
that last 2 minutes was
I don't think.
banana
Like I said,
land.
mostly what me and Boomy kind of said. Well, I said that I think both these teams aren't the best. What I kind of should have said is both teams' coaches aren't really meant to win playoff games, and it just seems like both of those coaches wanted to. They didn't want to actually lose the game, but they coached to lose the game because some of their decisions were just wild.
Yeah. 2 of the wildest minutes I've ever seen in an NFL game.
Unfortunately, what was I? Oh yeah, I was at the casino, and we'll get more into it at the end. But Rhythm City is it needs more TVs, like on the other side of like where the roulette table is and stuff, so you don't have to turn around all the time. Next game, Tennessee Titans, New England Patriots. Wow. The Titans 20, Patriots 13. Boys, Tannehill 8 of 15 for 72 yards against the New England Patriots,
Nice.
and he won. Derrick Henry 182 yards, 34 carries. Tom Brady 20 of 37, 209, 1 interception, no touchdown. Boys, can we believe that the New England Patriots it's wild card weekend? The wild card weekend is over, and they are not. What is it, Jay? 2010 was the last time they played in the wild card weekend, and now they have been eliminated in the wild card weekend. That's insane.
It's embarrassing, though. Like, you're Bill Belichick. You're supposed to be this defensive genius. You had a week to prepare, and you knew going into it that Tennessee had the leading rusher in the NFL, and you give up 190 yards. Like, that's embarrassing. Like, I'm not going back in history and saying everything that they've done since 1999 or whatever, when he got hired, or 2000, whatever it was.
The thin comments.
But
You didn't
this
like
is
the thin comment. It's thin. It's not thin. around here.
If you look at it like just through what it is, Derrick Henry was the leading rusher in the NFL this year, and that was the way you prepared for it. That's what the entire week of game plan was. Like, they deserve to be eliminated. They didn't deserve to win that game, and they got punked at home for the second week
But
in a row.
to that point, I do think that Tennessee has a really good offensive line, and like you said, he's the leading rusher in the NFL. He's done something
But
right
if
all
the
season.
Patriots were supposed to be the best defense of the damn decade. There was people saying they were better than the '85 Bears, and they come out and do that.
I don't know that they were good defense. I never thought that team was dominant really in any way this season.
Early on, they
They're
were getting
playing
all that
bad
hype.
teams.
Early on, they were getting all the legendary talk early on because their numbers were ridiculous.
Yeah, against bad
But
teams.
first half of the season they were outstanding, like you said, against bad teams.
Yes.
But I don't know. I'm not ready to say that New England's dead
no,
yet. Like
you
a lot of
can't-
people are trying to bury
no,
it
they're-
either. So I'm not ready to put the nail on that.
No,
stuff in them.
but
I don't know. It's one of those things. Like, everyone wants to be the first to get off that scorching ass steak that says Tom Brady's done, Patriots are done, Belichick, what's he going to do? It's like what the Bears had to deal with Jay Cutler. Fine, and you may not be perfectly happy with your quarterback situation at this point. If you're Bill Belichick, who the hell are you going to get that's a better upgrade at this point right now?
But my thing is, they've never had this long of an offseason.
I still think New England was the better team. I still think New England is a better football team than the Tennessee Titans. They didn't play like that yesterday. And that's
Derek
why
Henry
the season's
Derek
over.
Henry-
The Titans were just so hot though at the end of the year though. They were the best team in the last like 6 weeks of the season. I mean, it was just crazy how much momentum they had going into that game, and the Patriots didn't have any. I mean, losing to the Dolphins at home in a game you got to win to get a bye, and then coming out and not scoring in the second half at all.
Well, I was saying this is the first offseason that the Patriots will have actual questions that are actually meaningful, like in the there something not going right, or is something going to be changed, or what's going on? Because Tom Brady's a free agent. We'll have to see where that goes. I'm not saying anything crazy is going to happen, but it's the first time in a long time where there's an opportunity for something kind of wild to happen. So it's exciting. It's exciting for us non-Boston fans to sit back and finally see that the Patriots stumbled a little bit. Not saying it's going to be the final time that they're in a spot like this, but for the first time in a long time, they've stumbled, and we don't have to see them in the playoffs for a while. Like I said, then
It's kind of refreshing.
it is refreshing.
It is.
It was like last year in the NBA playoffs when LeBron wasn't in it. It was like refreshing. It was a LeBron-less NBA playoffs was nice
Then
to see.
we move on, and we lose another big-time quarterback when the Minnesota Vikings go into New Orleans, win 26-20 in overtime. Kirk Cousins gets a big-time touchdown. The Saints, I don't know. I felt like there could have been a little bit more urgency throughout the game from them. I think they kind of. Is it bad for me to say they may have looked past this Vikings team?
You
I
know
think
what?
that's
Because
fair. I think that's
because
very
we have
fair.
one fan on here that looked past his own team, who said this is one of the least least excited I've ever been about a playoff run, because you kind of knew what the team was. I think the Saints did kind of the same thing by going, this Vikings team, they're with this, whatever. They kind of ended the season bad. And then they went out, and they couldn't get anything really going on offense too much. And then they goes to overtime, and then some crazy stuff happens. And Drew Brees is now out of the playoffs.
So for the first time in forever, Drew Brees and Tom Brady are both free agent quarterbacks in this offseason.
Yeah. And they're both not in the playoffs.
Isn't that crazy thing? No. Okay, so I guess I'll go on my little diatribe here, but like, I did, and again, I'm still not stoked having to go play San Francisco. I think George Kittle's going to murder us, but
it's Greg.
I mean, how could you, Greg? Yes, how could you get up be like, yeah, I think they're going to go down there and whoop some ass, but I mean, the Vikings played extremely well. Kirk Cousins outplayed the fuck out of Drew Brees today. It was awesome to see. Who knew that Taysom Hill was going to be the best quarterback for the Saints? I mean, in the third quarter alone, the Saints had like 100 total yards. I mean, it was just the defense was really good. The Saints they had like 97 rushing yards. I mean, it's just
how is 19 of 31 for 242 yards way better than 26 of 33 for 208 yards, 1 touchdown. Both of them had a touchdown, 1 interception by Drew Brees. He didn't outplay him. Delvin Cook outplayed us, the Saints.
Us.
Sorry.
Big
I
Saints
didn't mean
guy.
to say. The us just kind of came out. I was heated. For you to say that he outplayed him so much. Give me a break.
He had 2
that throw to set up the game winner though. My God, that was a dime.
And then that interception by Drew Brees was so bad in that moment. What are you doing? Why are you giving him another opportunity in the half?
And then he had that fumble too. That was bad too. At the end of the game, towards the end of the game, that was pretty bad too. But yeah, that one interception.
He only had 1 interception.
Double coverage. He had 1 interception, but he had a fumble too.
Oh yeah, that was not forward.
But like you said, that interception that Brees threw, like he just forced it into double coverage, and there was like just
like I said, it felt like Drew Brees was kind of a step off today. I think maybe he was, maybe he's still hurt, maybe there's something going on, but. Like I said, even that one to Michael Thomas when they were able to get in the field goal position right before the half, it just seemed like he wasn't getting everything on the ball today. Michael Thomas. Oh, my gosh, is he good.
He had 16 receiving yards in the second half.
Unbelievable how – they say why –
they just shut him down. It was awesome.
They say why Drew Brees has been so good. He's had some amazing wide receivers.
What about whatever happened to Marcus Colston? If we're talking about Drew Brees, whatever happened to Marcus Colston?
I have no idea.
Remember how good he was?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he left.
Michael Thomas, 7 catches for 70 yards. That's pretty good on the Vikings defense. That was pretty good.
Yeah, the Vikings defense. Then,
but yeah, got the win.
You want to keep going?
To San Fran, not stoked.
Yeah, on to San Fran.
They're gonna have to go do this all again next week.
Will we get a?
I'm gonna give P-Goy a little shine here too. I don't think there's a team in the NFC right now that the Vikings can't beat.
No,
they can beat any of the teams left.
They got a good enough defense that they can win playoff games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
they were watching the game though. Push off Rudolph. Just saying.
I can't believe they didn't review it though. That's crazy. I'm sorry. They're wide.
If you're gonna have the rule there, at least go with it. Like at least go.
They have it all. They had it all season. It never got overturned.
It doesn't matter.
It got overturned twice.
That doesn't matter. You still go through the due diligence of what the replay is there to do.
So just go through the 5 more minutes at a time and have it not overturned.
Who gives a shit? The game was over with it. Like it's not like everyone needed to go home and take 5 minutes to get the replay. I mean, if you're gonna have it, at least do it. You're just afraid that it was gonna be an offensive pass interference. That's why you didn't want it to be looked at.
I am absolutely not afraid of that because I have zero sympathy for calls going the opposite way of my team or kickers missing field goals or any of that shit. So I'm giving no sympathy to anybody who wants to come at me about, that should have been offensive pass interference. Be quiet. Go away. We're on to San Francisco.
You can get your
I love it. He's pretty broad tonight.
You can get your ass kicked by the 49ers.
Let him do his.
I'm in a
victory
great
lap.
mood tonight, by the way.
Get your ass kicked by the 49ers.
You should be, buddy.
Hey, speaking of getting your ass kicked, you want the Diggs jersey or the Bridgewater jersey for the next show? Or for the show?
Oh, I think the Bridgewater
That's a good looking jersey.
better than your quarterback.
Well, also better than yours. So here we go.
See,
Did you
I
guys
should just
see
kick off.
Taysom Hill today?
Matt,
He had-
me and you could do a great show tonight too. We could have done a great show, me and you, going over the NFL games like sophisticated sports fans. It's been so much fun.
All right, as a non-sophisticated sports fan, I'll take a timeout for the.
When I think of this show, I think of sophisticated
Yes.
sports fan.
This is a direct correlation between our sophistication.
If this is a Venn diagram, those circles never even get close.
Yeah, because you're linked to it. Let's move on.
Boom, he's pulling it away. He's the anchor that's pulling it away.
We had the final game. We had the Seahawks Eagles. Seahawks going in there. Carson Wentz getting hurt early in the game, out with a concussion, and Josh McCown going in there. He did pretty well for being thrown into a playoff game like that against the Seahawks, but the Seahawks get it done. The Seahawks defense stops them on 4th, and I think it was like 13 or whatever, to end the game. Josh McCown gets a sack at the end of the game. I really think that I'm very impressed. I hate to be this way. I was very impressed with how he went in there, kind of kept with the moment, kept the Eagles in the game. They only lost by technically a touchdown, but I wasn't that impressed by the Seahawks. I understand they won the amazing catch at the end. I was almost more impressed by the Eagles and staying in it. I don't really have much for the Seahawks other than I hope they beat the Packers, but I really was not impressed by them in this win.
Yeah, they don't do a ton for me. Russell Wilson, I think, is just an absolute stud. But other than that, like, their running game is depleted. There's a reason they had to pick Marshawn and another running back up because their starting running backs were hurt. Their wide receivers are okay. Like, DK Metcalf still does things that, prove he's a rookie. And their defense is good, but not great. But in the same breath, even as a Packers fan looking at it for next week, like, they're a good football team, and they have what it takes to win games, obviously. So you got to take them seriously. But it wasn't a pretty game. That was probably probably the least exciting game of the 4 that we saw this weekend.
Let me ask you this: if you had to pick one, who would, as a Packers fan, would you have rather played, the Saints or the Seahawks?
The Seahawks.
I mean, Philly, obviously, but the Saints are the Seahawks.
But the Seahawks.
You'd rather play the Seahawks
than the Saints?
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the Saints are a better team than the Seahawks, in my opinion.
Yeah, and in my mind, the Packers have struggled with run defense. And to me, even Alvin Kamara having a bad year is a better running option than whatever Seattle has right now. So, yeah, I think that's an easy choice.
I don't think it's as easy as you think it is. But what have we agreed on tonight? Absolutely fucking nothing.
That's
So hey,
that's absolutely.
How about
I will
Boomer,
say
you
if you're
can
going
bring in the
against
next.
Russell
You can
Wilson-
bring in the next one. What's
No,
the
wait,
last bowl game?
you just said at the end of that you thought that you weren't impressed with Seattle, but now you think Seattle's better than New Orleans?
They won
I mean, yeah, but
on
they're
the
also
road
playing
against.
the Eagles.
I don't care on the road. The Saints just lost at home.
All right.
Yeah, they did.
I'm just saying. Go ahead. What you were telling me? What's this bowl game?
The what?
The last bowl game. Well, what is it?
Tomorrow, the final bowl game, we have UL Lafayette and Miami of Ohio playing in what is that bowl game called? Oh, Lending Tree Bowl, the ever famous
That's my next
Lending
guess.
Tree Bowl, played in Lad Pebbles Stadium in Mobile, Alabama. UL Lafayette, pretty good though, man. 10-3 there. They had a good year. They won the Sun Belt, I think. Playing against an average MAC team. UL Lafayette is a 14-point spread. So it does kind of hurt my heart though. Last bowl game, or true bowl game, quote unquote, before the national championship. So not that I really care. I'm probably not going to watch a second of that game tomorrow or today.
I will be taking the over
what's the
as
spread?
the last thing. 14 in Lafayette's favor. And the 55 over, I'll take it because that's the last one.
I'll just go with Zach on the last bowl game. I'll take the over because you probably have to.
Yeah.
I think Lafayette probably, takes care of business. They also playing closer to home. And I don't know, I just wasn't really impressed with Miami of Ohio this year.
Next week on Monday's show, we'll previewing the national championship game between Clemson and LSU. That is a week from today. Very exciting stuff. But we were talking before the show here. We got some Chicago Bulls frustration. I went to the Bulls game last night. They played the Celtics. The Celtics were off a back-to-back. They played in Boston, got a late flight. The Bulls have been in town for a few days, and they just go out, the Bulls do, and look lethargic, look like they don't even want to be there. They lose to a Celtics team without Kemba Walker. They look at the beginning of the game, they got off to about a 15-point lead. The Bulls did what they do best. They get off to a quick lead, blow it quickly, and then just weren't in it the rest of the game. I guess it kind of got close at the end, but it never was really. You never thought they could actually come back and win. It just looked like there was no energy in the building, no energy really. I mean, they always have that pumped up. They do all the tossing of the T-shirts, but it just like you just don't feel the same energy you used to feel when it was like a team that mattered and a team that you knew that could actually go somewhere in the playoffs, maybe, or just in general. And there's just nothing there. And then Pigoy says that there are some quotes from last night's game that you were not happy with.
All right, so this is from Jim Boylan last night in the press conference, and if you watch the game, you know how bad his timeout management was at the end of the game. Jim Boylan, and I quote, "We practice to not have timeouts, so we prepare to not have them."
What is he talking about?
I don't even know. That is so stupid. What are you talking about? What are you even talking about? Like,
what is that?
What are you even talking about? We had no timeouts left with like 5 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
What are you? Well, we're practicing to play. Like we're at the YMCA or something like that, running 5-on-5 with no timeouts. Like that's what we're trying to do. What? That's the point of having timeouts, is to use it as a strategy against the other team to break momentum if you need to at the end of the game, or set up plays or something. But no, we would rather just do everything on the fly and figure it out with this team that's just proven to you that they are really good at just doing stuff on the fly in games. This is so stupid. God. What do you? Is he want to be fired? Is he just like, get me out of here, please?
If Garpax was my boss, I'd be trying to get fired too.
My brother-in-law was saying we should have brought a fire Garpax sign or got a fire Garpax chant started. There were a lot of Celtics fans. A lot of Celtics fans last night. It was kind of crazy, but maybe that's always. There was a lot behind. It was behind the Celtics bench, so that kind of made sense. But like I said, the energy just really did not seem like it's there. I don't think it's probably felt like it's been there all season, because you just know this team has no upside to it in a way. I mean, we can make the playoffs as an 8-7 seed or whatever, but there's no real run. Like we said, we did the decade thing today. How many championships will our teams win this decade? And we all had a number, and none of them involved one for the Chicago Bulls. Neither of us had one in the next 10 years for the Chicago Bulls. And it's just where their path is going right now is somewhere that,
and the idiots that lead them.
Yeah, the idiot. And it's unless something's changed, unless something's changed, then it's ugly. All we can do is be frustrated about it, get mad on the show about it, but until something actually happens, then we're just kind of stuck for a while.
Yeah,
unfortunately. Matt, you got anything on the Bulls? Pissed at them?
No, I don't want to talk.
Yeah,
about
actually,
them.
you know what? I don't want to ruin
the timeout thing. The timeout thing is just unacceptable. This is the NBA, dude. Come on, you practice to have no time. No, shut
Am
up.
I wrong though, or does it sound like he's literally trying to be
Shouldn't he-
fired? He's just like,
He should just come out and be like, "Yeah, I'm poor at time management."
It's unbelievably stupid. Like, come on, man.
stupid and
I
just
would
like,
rather have him come out and say that than just talk out of his ass and say about this stuff at practice about not having time out. Shut
it
up!
just makes
You're
no
just making
sense.
stuff.
It makes no sense.
Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Our last subject,
Right.
we got Boomy's wacky web story. Boomy, give us the wacky web story for Monday.
Well, boys, we're barely a week into 2020, the brand new decade, and unfortunately, though, we have our first goat napping of the decade. Yeah,
Hate to see
comes to us from Sand Springs, Oklahoma, where a man it'll get even more Sand Springs, Oklahoma, and goat napping when I tell you that the man that napped said goat was on methamphetamines to the surprise of no
There you
one.
go.
But this guy,
Wait, weren't they the state that had the slogan of "meth, we're on it"?
no, that was Montana or North Dakota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
it
would
was
have been even
not-
more fitting. Then.
That would have been perfect. But if I think of Oklahoma, I think of goat napping and methamphetamines. So, but this guy apparently went to steal a truck, and when he broke in, there was a passenger in it. And this is another part I want to get to. The passenger was asleep with his goat in the back seat, and then he stole the guy's truck and pistol whipped him and led the police on a chase and was eventually arrested. But what the weird part of me is, and this is just my weird brain, but why is a man napping in his truck with a goat in it?
It's Oklahoma, man.
I'm
Stuff down there.
lost.
Maybe he's like trying to like a kind of like a dog would be kind of be like a security dog. Is his security goat?
I
If anyone's
don't
trying to
know.
mess with them, the goat will attack them.
Obviously not. The guy got attacked and pistol whipped, and the goat did nothing.
You need to get a better security goat.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
he's
what
still
is
training
going
it.
on?
Maybe he's still training
Speaking
it.
of security
Okay.
goats, Big Black
And
from
maybe he hadn't trained
He wears a do works on t-shirt.
he hadn't trained the goat if somebody pistol whips him. He's still in the process. That's
Okay,
rude.
he hadn't got to the pistol whipping section of the goat
If
training.
you're gonna fight a goat,
That's like year two.
at least hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, you're right. But like, I don't know. It just when I started reading, it just made me a little uncomfortable that a man is taking a nap in a car with his goat. I don't know. Keep the goat at home, bud, and lock your doors when you're in Oklahoma because there's a lot of people on methamphetamines. So
what a
they're gonna
weirdos down there.
Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, unfortunately, this will not be the decade of no goat napping. So we've already ruined
We
that.
made it 5 days.
5 days and
Well, the funniest part is that this literally happened at 4:30 in the morning on Christmas or on New Year's Day. So we made it 4.5 hours.
well, that
into the
makes
new
maybe
decade.
some sense. Maybe he was celebrating
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, and nothing like a little New Year's Eve celebration with some meth and stealing some trucks and a
How about
goat.
this? How about this? You don't tell people how to celebrate, Boomy.
Yeah, valid point.
Let people celebrate however they want to celebrate. It's the new year.
Valid
You're
point.
just trying to have some fun, I guess.
New year, new
that,
me.
that was wrong with
My
me.
thing would be train your goat to be a better attack goat. Make sure that
Maybe that
it knows all forms of attacks.
it knows what to do when its owner's pistol whipped by a junkie.
Well, let's move into the post show part of the show. I went to Rhythm City.
Zach, you're not gonna let a casino punk you on Twitter.
No,
are you?
honestly I have to tip my cap. I thought that was pretty cool. That I said I lost all my money, and they had the Zach Galifianakis gif where it was like a
That's
smile.
not Zach
That's not Zach.
Galifianakis. No, that
Oh,
is.
it looks like I had a Bush Light
I
commercial.
thought it was Zach Galifianakis.
No,
no, dude, that's Grizzly Adams.
that's close.
That's literally from like the.
All right, so
70s.
We
the
could have been in
story.
the 70s
So
movie.
Zach. So
Yeah,
Zach.
that is a clip. That is a clip from the Grizzly Adams TV show
Never seen it.
in the 70s.
Sorry, I'm
All right,
not
so
up
Zach,
on my
tell the
Grizzly
story.
Adams show.
Tweet at the casino.
Remember in Happy Gilmore where he said something about did Grizzly Adams have a beard?
I don't really
Yeah,
care.
that.
Boomy, keep talking. Pigoy, please keep talking.
Me? Oh yeah. So
Yeah, you can talk.
So tell us. So you're sitting there and you tweet at you say at Rhythm City Casino took all my money, and then they send you that GIF, and then you tweet back at them with the Donald Duck just emptying out his fucking wallet. Looks like nothing.
I don't think I did that, did I?
Yeah, you did. I saw it.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought you did too.
I don't remember doing that.
Must have been a good night at the casino there,
Yeah,
big
they-
boy.
It was fun. Other than
texted
them
me.
cutting us off a beer at 1:15, that was a little wild.
That is
The
a
whole
weird
casino.
move.
It's just that they're stopped selling alcohol at 1:15 on a Friday night. What?
When did they start selling it again?
I don't know. Didn't ask. I knew it wasn't. I knew it
2:30.
wasn't. No, it wasn't, because we probably would have stuck around. They said, "Oh, this is a new
You're right.
rule." They said one person told me it had always been a thing. No way, it had always been a thing. I'd been there before and drank later. Unbelievable. That was. Maybe I should tweet that at them.
Thanks for the beer.
Oh wait, it's 1:16. I can't. That was on top of. I actually made my money back, so haha. I got the last
boy.
laugh. Rhythm City. Anything else post show?
And
Matt, you got anything?
Not for me.
My favorite guy
No,
on the
man,
show.
I don't. For now.
No, you.
For now.
You've always been
I'm
my
sure
favorite.
I'm probably due to get called out here for something soon too, so we'll figure that out.
No, I'm just.
No, I
You've
don't
always
know,
been
man.
the favorite.
It's been it's this weekend has been a whirlwind. Had a bunch of stuff going on.
The
at
birthday
home, so
parties,
I don't
the
know.
family's
I
been
didn't-
sick. Matt has avoided
family's
avoided
kids.
the flu.
It's me knocking on wood still.
That's
yes,
you.
I
What
have.
have you been?
for
You've been
now.
juking out the flu. Spin moves.
It's and no flu shot either. My kid got it, but I did not. So
What did you-
I'm
you-
going in blind.
You also
I
told
don't get it
me
either.
your
I don't
medicine.
either.
Your flu medicine is Tito's.
Vodka kills it all, man. Vodka
Kills all germs.
everything. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Like I mean, if you think about it, rubbing alcohol kills certain bacteria, all kinds of stuff for cleaning wounds, things like that. If vodka can't kill a little influenza, peroxide kills stuff. That's basically.
Did you
alcohol,
say you weren't
know?
sick, Boomy?
But
You've been sick this year. I know you were you didn't stop doing things, but you've been nasty like that.
yeah, I had a little weird. I got a cold right at the beginning of November. I had a 3-day cold. Yeah, but no, I don't get a flu shot either. So I can live with a cold. Colds are nothing.
You guys
It's been
get
a
flu
while.
shots?
No, I think
I
they're a
don't-
government conspiracy.
I don't get one either.
I do not, but my wife is in the medical field, so she has to. And being that she's in the medical field, she makes our kid get it too.
I just
Doesn't it
feel
get-
like
does
when
it
the
get you
population
sick?
gets to a certain point, and then there's just going to be a switch somewhere at a government lab, and then everyone that got a flu shot is just going to drop.
It's like it's tracking solution. So they
Yeah, exactly.
You're overthinking
some
this.
kind of serum. I don't know, man. You might be honest. Something. Stay woke, dude.
It's probably one of the most common vaccinations, I guess, but
Yeah,
be an easy way.
If it kept my kid
No,
out of the
Yeah, they would love to
hospital,
track
like,
you, Boomy. You go to
I was-
go to your school, you go to your work, you go home, you watch sports, you talk on here, and you hang out at home.
Yeah,
They're really
we
tracking
do-
the right
we do
guy.
live
They're really
pretty
looking to
exciting
track the
lives.
right guy here.
No, I spend more time out of the house than most people.
I understand
So
that,
they
but
can
you're
turn
you're
us
going
into-
you're at
so
the,
they
at the
can turn us
gym.
into iRobot.
You're either at the gym,
Yeah, I know.
or working out, or you're playing basketball, or you're not doing much. That's whoa, my
I'm
God!
very easy to track. Yeah,
Boomy's gone from LaSalle to
Oh, my-
Mendota. Now he went home. Now he went back to LaSalle. Oh my gosh! Now he's back home.
It's all one giant triangle.
Yeah.
Mendota, Peru, LaSalle. Mendota, Peru,
But not even just
LaSalle.
Mendota, just the Anytime Fitness, then out to your house, then to
Yeah.
Peru. Then
Dollar General like twice a week.
or they're like, oh no, he's on his way to Byron or somewhere like that. And you're like, oh, he just has a game tonight.
Exactly. I'm very easy to track.
He's not too hard to find.
Picoy too. Picoy is pretty much just home,
I'm not too hard to find either.
home, school.
Mendota,
And it's not like it's a
school,
long
Mendota,
distance
home,
between
school,
there.
Mendota.
Me too. I
Well,
got like
these random trips to the Silver Slipper. Why does it keep going past the Ottawa exit all the time?
I heard nothing after you said that. I was waiting for Picoy to say something.
Cricket. He was.
I was waiting for
He
about
was
two.
hiding the singles.
Still nothing. Still crickets. I'm waiting for defense to share.
I thought you were.
I think
thought you were
that's
talking
what they
about
call
yourself,
pleading
Tommy.
the fifth. I think that's what they call pleading
You know what?
the
That's how
fifth.
we're gonna end the show. We're gonna end the show on Picoy saying nothing about Boomy saying that he went to the Silver Slipper because he just has nothing to
Hey,
say. I guess.
topic for Tuesday's show is P going to the strip club guy.
I'm definitely not it.
We could have a strip club
I'm
talk.
as much as that as White Sox Dave is. So I'm not.
Oh, speaking of that video, Matt,
Oh,
my
God.
you gotta
that
look
video
up
was
Paula Duca.
outstanding.
Paula Duca, former baseball player, on Twitter. Go on there. It's a video that he had tagged White Sox Dave in. It was a horse racing video, and right next to the horse race, like on the rails, was a guy in
bit
a
of a heavy
speedo. I think he was wearing like an unbuttoned shirt, big man, and he was trying to race the horses, and he was running right next to them.
That's
And it was
beautiful.
one of the funny. I don't think I've seen Matt laugh that hard almost ever.
I was dying. I just retweeted it too.
Let's just say this: if you're at the end of this video,
find it on
you're at
mine.
the end of this video or podcast, and you're having yourself kind of a shitty Monday, go watch that
Yeah,
video,
go
and it
watch
will turn
that.
your day
It'll
around.
fix everything.
The caption's important too, though, especially
Just
if
watch
you're-
it right now.
If you follow any of the Barstool personalities there.
So yeah, if you need a good
Oh, God, if he would've-
laugh,
If he would have fell down, it'd been awesome.
He almost
almost did,
did.
but graceful, I have to say.
Yeah.
How he held up too, didn't fall. That is like the $1 million
If
question.
you want to go check that out, you want to put a little.
I think he's wearing sunglasses too. I think that
Yes.
makes it
Yeah, we
even-
just retweeted it from the Typical Chicago Fans Twitter. If you want to go on there and look at it, it's a video that will hopefully maybe turn your Monday around, give you a good laugh or something. But this has been the TCF Morning Show, Monday, January 6th. Thank you to our sponsors, The Muddy Otter. Go to themuddy.otter.com. Here's a beautiful mug, a little sample of some of their stuff right here. A little Muddy Otter at the bottom. They got woodworking stuff. They got pottery stuff. Go on there. They're back in the lab right now working on your products. If you got something that you are looking for them to make, maybe get in contact with them. They are always great with that kind of stuff. TheMuddyOtter.com. Go to their Instagram and Facebook. Go to The Muddy Otter. Find them on there. Also, shout out to Score Trader. So we think we did pretty good this week for the NFL playoffs. We have a few weeks left of the NFL playoffs next week. 4 games. You'll have a lot of players to pick from on there. Go to Score Trader. Go to the App Store. Type in Score Trader. Download it. It's free to play. We won $50 after getting third place. We may have won a little bit more. We don't know yet. Pigoy made us a lineup. He said he didn't really know. He's not really that big into DFS, but he has. You having some fun with it, Pigoy?
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool once you get the hang of it.
It's a
totally
little different.
look
Like
on-
it's like trained stocks, but once you get a
Right.
hold of it, you figure out what's going on. Then you can have a little fun with it. Like I said, it's free to play. Win some money. Here is Pigoy's little ad right here.
Score Trader Week 17 update. TCF Chicago gets third place overall in the Week 17 contest. We had Joe Mixon as our top running back. Bought a bunch of shares in him. He ended up being the top running back for the entire week on the Score Trader leaderboard. We also had Brashad Perryman from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the third best wide receiver for the week in the contest. Score Trader top leaderboard gets us third place for $50 cash prize to us. Guys, listen, Score Trader, go check it out. It is a free-to-play fantasy sports app where you buy stock in players during the week and then decide if you want to sell them off or let it ride during the contest on Sunday or Saturday. Now for the playoff, Score Trader running some NFL playoff contests, so go ahead and check that out as well. Again, free to play, cash prizes at your disposal. Go ahead and draft your players, buy stock in your players, and see how you do. That is at Score Trader app and at typical_Chicago on Twitter. Be sure to tweet us photos of your portfolio, and as well look for us on the top trader leaderboard.
Thank you, Pigoy. He said go to Score Trader, go to the App Store, type in Score Trader, download the app, free to play, win you some money on the TCF boys. What else we got here? I've been joined tonight by my favorite guy, Matt, at school_01.
Oh, damn.
At Boomy TCF and at TCF Pigoy.
Shucks.
My main page is at typical_Chicago. You can follow me at ZLiljatCF. Instagram, Facebook, go search Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. We put all of our videos and podcasts on all of those social media, so go check us out. Go to the YouTube, subscribe, watch the videos, comment, like the videos, do whatever you got to do on there. We put up all of our videos from here and the Typical Chicago Fan podcast, and maybe some just random stuff that we've done in the past. We'll be on YouTube, and then it's at Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, where you can find us wherever you get your podcast at. Go type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. Subscribe, follow, rate, review, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unfollow, refollow, please. This has been the TCF Morning Show, Monday, January 6th. We love you all.
Peace.
Thanks.
See you.